Jam on toast!
Hey everybody, I'm Cam, and today we're here to talk about Kumare. This was suggested by the Defranco Movie Club. So the short sale as I saw it was that this guy, Vikram Gandhi, was going to go ahead and make a documentary about how all these gurus are frauds and manipulators and just trying to... So the short sale as I saw it was that this guy, Vikram Gandhi, was going to go through and make a documentary about how gurus are frauds and manipulators and are just out to make themselves look good or make a buck pretending to be these spiritual enlighteners, and he was going to prove that anyone could do it, and therefore anyone could be their own guru and make great changes in their own life. And this is kind of his documentary about what happened when he tried that. My love for this one's got to be when he was going through his fake yoga session, and and he had one of his assistants up there doing this yoga pose, and it was essentially like upward seal or whatnot, where you stretch out but from a doggy style position. So you go from almost downward facing dog up, and you breathe out with your mouth open and your tongue out. And for anyone who watches porn, they're probably familiar with that expression. So the pornographic yoga poses is probably my laugh out loud favorite moment of the movie. My hated was that at one point he's interviewing guys that he thinks are suspect. One of them brings up a point that other people think that he's not an enlightened person, he's not a real guru because he's an older guy sleeping with like 20-year-old women who are all into him because of this character he puts on, whether or not it's legit. What offended me was the idea that someone could be restricted from something because of who they have sex with and their practices thereof. It's projecting morals because they don't see that as being moral, and it's not something they would do because it's not something they believe in. They project it onto that person, and that's not right. Let people believe what they believe. That said, this is kind of all hogwash, but apparently people get something out of it, so that's just my opinion. The MVP of this, of course, was Vikram Gandhi, with a very Andy Kaufman-like character. This guy's awesome. He grows out his beard, he grows out his hair, he changes his clothes, behavior, mannerisms. He even said himself that due to the positivity he had to be as Kumare, that he felt happier and he felt more in tune with everything because he was pretending so much, so long, he was living that character, it actually helped him. If I remember correctly, I think Kaufman actually had similar things going on with spiritualism, and hopefully at some point that balanced him out, but we definitely see that happening with Vikram. Let's move on to categories. Aesthetics. Because this is a documentary and a lot of it looks like it's set up on handhelds or handhelds on tripods, granted better quality than I've got, and it looks like that on purpose, because if you fancy it up with video editing, or if it has too high a quality, you reach that uncanny valley and people have an issue with it. If it films on something that they would film at home, then they have more inclination to believe that it's real, it's happening, it's not as fancied up. Aesthetics gets an 85. Character development. This whole movie's character development. We're mostly focused on Vikram, but we are looking at his disciples, even his assistants a little bit, and you see how they grow together and they have a true experience. That's what you need to take away from this movie, is that there are true experiences happening for these characters, and because these characters are real. They're real people you can go meet. I really do hope that anyone involved with that movie, if they see this, I hope you're a better person for that experience, because you did experience something awesome, whether or not you perceived it as good or bad. It was indeed awesome. Character development gets a 90. Storyline. I was completely sold at the beginning on the premise. I was like, he's gonna Kaufman these guys, it's gonna be awesome! But we kind of diverged, and we didn't diverge in a bad way. Let me clarify that. There's a very positive thing that happened here, and I don't want to take away from that, because it did really happen. However, it's not where the story would have gone where I would want it to for entertainment purposes. Through the event, through the happenings, and through his shared experience getting close with these people, Vikram himself cared. He made true connections with these people, and he should have, for what he was trying to do, what he was trying to bring out in these people. He was a pivotal moment in these people's lives, and I don't know if that lady should tell her grandkids about it, but good for her that she feels that good, that she has something she wants to tell her grandkids about. So as far as entertainment goes, story gets a 75. I was curious throughout this entire movie. Just, really, what's gonna happen? What's that person's story? As much as we got to see how the characters built up, we didn't really get to look back too much. I was intrigued by everything going on, because I want to know, for a documentary, who is the type of person that goes and sees these people in the first place? Who is the type of person that gets it in their head to think to do this? But I gotta say, I don't think anyone would be bored by this. I think as long as you are willing to sit down and watch a movie and you don't have something else in mind, I think this is gonna be where you're going to want to watch. So while it's not for everyone, Compulsion gets an 85. If we go ahead and total all that up, comes out to an average of 83.75. Not a top tier, but definitely a good one to keep in your back pocket. For my wrap-up review, I will reiterate, this is not a movie for everyone, but I can't imagine you being truly bored. I think it'd be more of a matter of, I wanted to watch cartoons. I wanted to watch comedy. I wanted to watch a dramatic movie. And while it does have aspects of comedy and drama, and it's almost cartoony, for some of the stuff that's happening, this is a very important thing that got documented. It's a very important thing to put out there for sociology purposes or spiritual purposes. I find it very compelling, just the predicament he put himself in, because the ideals that he went through are counterintuitive to what he wanted to represent. He wanted to go in and be this character to make everyone's lives better, and to show them that they don't need other people, that they can do it on their own. But at the same time, it required adding someone to their life to help them help themselves and show that, hey, I wasn't as real as you thought I was. I lied to you. Now, as a fan of Skinner and Freud, I believe in this type of methodology, and normally it requires some detachment. But Vikram grew out of that, and good on him, he really should have. I do appreciate where this goes. Don't let me understate that at all. This is a real event of people getting better, and good on them. I, for one, feel better for the experience. I'm Cameron. Have a nice day.